Once upon a time.
That's a scene from Shakespeare's mystical play Cymbeline. It's this year's free Shakespeare on the Common production presented by Commonwealth Shakespeare Company. In this lesser-known work, we find the Princess Imogen ignoring both her well-intentioned father, King Cymbeline, and her scheming stepmother to marry a man of the lower class. It results in mistaken identity, some star-crossed love, and lots of comedy. I recently sat down with Cymbeline's director Fred Sullivan to learn about the joys and challenges of directing a play in one of Boston's busiest parks. Fred Sullivan Jr., thank you so much for joining us. Actually, I'm joining you this time out here on the Common. You're set in the background. This is fantastic.
I love it. This is my 13th lucky summer doing Commonwealth Shakespeare Company. I wouldn't rather be anywhere else.
Well, do you remember that first time that you were on stage and what it was like to be out in this open air?
I do. I looked out at thousands of people of all walks of life, all shapes and sizes, and I wept. I cried. Because really? I had been acting since I was 8 years old, so I've been acting about half a century. Don't tell your friends. And I had never experienced something that was as close to Shakespeare's own time.
Well, this does evoke, of course, Shakespearean times, and what does it do to take it outdoors, to not be in the formal setting of a theater?
I think that because it's informal, it adds to the joy and the fun of it and the magic of it. I mean, the moon is your scene partner. And when it rains in King Lear and it actually rains on the audience, they stay, because it's like, oh, how immersive. He had an open O at the Globe. And so they were out in the elements.
We hear the siren now. You deal with this on stage.
All the time.
How do you deal with it?
I mean, Will Lyman was doing King Lear, and there were sirens going by, and we just pretended it was, the police coming to get us.
Is this at all frustrating for you? First of all, this is a noisy place. These
It's
sirens have
place.
Not stopped.
It's not as noisy at night.
Okay. The city sells
We
out.
only do one matinee. And so that one's crazy because we see, frisbees and dogs and people eating ice cream cones. But as the sun sets, it gets gorgeous. And then it gets night when you're under the stars. And usually the plots go that unless it's a comedy, it gets a little darker as it goes. And it's perfect. Beautiful. It rebooted me. I looked out at that crowd in this environment and it changed me for the better.
Well, you're stepping off stage to direct for your first time.
I am here.
For Shakespeare on the Common. I heard that you've imagined Cymbeline as you evoke fairy tales. I mean, give us a sense of how you see this story through that prism.
Well, it's very much Once Upon a Time because there's an evil queen who uses poison to go after a young princess.
I will try the forces of these thy compounds on creatures that we count not worth the hanging, but none human.
I do not like her. She doth think she has strange lingering poisons. I do know her spirit, and will not trust one of her nature with a drug of such a damned nature.
There's a kind of a strong man oaf who's trying to pick her up or marry her so he can be king.
I've been advised to give her music of the morning. They say it will penetrate. Come, Toon. If you can penetrate her with your fingering, so. We'll try with tongue, too.
Hark, hark, the log and heaven's kitchens and feed his skins arrive.
I could go on. I mean, there's so many. Snow White is kind of sprinkled throughout, and it's very Disney.
How fun do you see this? Because this was originally classified as a tragedy.
I believe incorrectly. This is not a tragedy. This is, I think there is drama in it, but very much like The Winter's Tale, there is kind of an angry king that somehow changes, So those are romances. It's all about love, and it has comic elements, almost farcical elements, because it gets so dense, the plot gets so dense that one guy goes, oh, I forgot to tell you one thing. And it's so delightful. I bet the audience is just going to give a big laugh.
You just did a litany of all that we experience in this play. That there are a lot of elements of prior Shakespeare play that seem to, it's like a best of version almost.
Well, yeah, some people call it the greatest hits play, but The winter still is Othello turns into As You Like It, and I think that that's what he was playing with this late form of, they're all about forgiveness, they're all about grace, they're all about reconnection.
You say this is a comedy, but there's a beheading scene here.
Yes, it's a Jacobean play.
I don't think that's happened on the Common in 400 years.
When have we... That's very good.
Thank you. I'm here all week.
Yeah, no, I like that. Olmsted intended for us to have community experiences here, so yes, there were probably witch burnings and beheadings. So there's a beheading here, but the way that it's treated, I don't think we really want families to come. We want the 10-year-old on the blanket to have a world-class experience as much as we want the Harvard professor. We want them to both take away something that is like, oh, I never thought of it that way, or you know what I mean, or why do it?
Thou shalt know I am son to the queen.
I'm sorry for it, not seeming so worthy as thy birth.
Yield, rustic mountaineer!
I think the family-friendly violence is going to be exciting because we have really athletic actors. The things they do about the beheading and the violence is pretty impressive and great. It's a little Cirque du Soleil action coming at you. Little Red Sox, little...
not squirting blood.
No squirting blood. I saw a version where they brought out the body with the head literally squirting fake blood, and the audience laughed. The roll went up and back like it was The Odd Couple. I mean, it was just insane because you can't really do that on stage. The movies and television have taken that kind of realistic violence away from us.
Yeah.
And so we have to theatricalize it in a way that it's entertaining, or it's joyous, or it's exciting, or it's engaging.
Our city has no equals. Oh, Roma, oh, Roma.
Where are you going to be each night as this is unfolding?
I'll be in the audience a lot because I want to see how people react live. And the numbers of people are extraordinary. It's like the Greek theater. It's crazy. Sometimes we get 400 people when it's drizzling. Sometimes we get 1,000 people when it's 90 degrees. Sometimes we get 5,000 people on a Saturday night when it's 75 degrees. Do you know what I mean? And you look out and I'm doing this for 5,000 people? That's the run of a play anywhere else,
That's pretty perfect. Well, Fred Sullivan Jr., congratulations, and thank you so much for letting us join you.
Oh, it's my pleasure.